Hey guys, what's up? So lot and lots of science and tech topics which are current affair based or recurring topics. They are asked in exam from 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Entire decade they will keep on asking the same topics because nothing much changes as far as UPSC is concerned. Obviously a lot of things changes as far as technology is concerned. So this is the lesson number 4. Okay, so important science and tech topics in 2017. So the first and the foremost thing is artificial intelligence. So what do you mean by artificial intelligence? So basically it is an area of computer science that emphasizes the creation of intelligent machines. Now they don't have like IQ of Albert Einstein, but they can have eventually, not right now, but eventually. They work and they react like humans, and computers programs, they are designed for speech recognition, learning, planning and problem solving. Now let us talk about the applications of artificial intelligence. The first and the foremost is gaming. So artificial intelligence plays a very crucial role in strategic games like chess, poker, tic-tac-toe, and in chess and the various other games, it can defeat even the best of the best players. For example, the best chess player of all time, let's say Bobby Fischer or let's say Magnus Carlsen, like they are nowhere in front of a today's computer, like absolutely nowhere. Second is vision systems. So these systems can understand, interpret and they can comprehend the visual input on the computer. For example, like let's say a spying aeroplane takes photographs which are used to figure out like spatial information, where is the enemy location, etc., map of the areas. Doctors can use clinical expert system to diagnose the patient. Police can use computer software that can recognize the face of criminal with the stored portrait made by the forensic artist. Then you have speech recognition. So some intelligent systems are even capable of hearing and comprehending the language in terms of sentences, their meanings, etc. At this while like a human talks to it. For example, if you found that Saudi robot, so when you talk it, they can easily do speech recognition. Even your iPhone or your Android has speech recognition. It can handle different accents, slang words, noise in the background, change in humans noise due to cold. Everything can be handled. Now artificial intelligence can also do handwriting recognition. So if you write, they can, by the recognizing the shapes of the letters, and they can convert it into editable text also. This is called as optical character recognition. Then today we have intelligent robots. So they are able to perform the task given by a human better because they don't get bored. They have sensors to detect physical data like light, heat, temperature, movement, sound, bump, pressure, etc. And in addition, they are capable of learning from their own mistakes. They can adapt to the new environment. Then you have HySIS. HySIS is basically Hyperspectral Imaging Satellite. Now let us talk about this in detail. So ISRO is planning to launch a niche Earth observation satellite which is called as HySIS. So keyword there is ISRO is launching it, Indian Space Research Organization. It will be a niche Earth observation satellite. So try to learn more about what is Earth observation satellite, and its name will be HySIS. That is Hyperspectral Imaging Satellite. And this will be a great feat for ISRO, as only a very few space agencies in the entire world have the technology. Now hyperspectral imaging or HISPAX imaging, they basically what they do is across the electromagnetic spectrum, they will collect and process information. Now how it will help us? It will enable distinct identification of objects, materials or the processes on the earth by reading the spectrum for each pixel of a scene from the space. Now this HySIS satellite, that has a very critical chip which is called an optical imaging detector array, and it has been indigenously developed by ISRO. So you can use this example in science and technology development in India, and it can be used for a range of activities from monitoring the environment, crops, looking for oil and minerals, and all the way up to the military surveillance. Then you have the CubeSats. So CubeSats are basically miniature satellites, very very small. They are commonly used in low Earth orbit for applications like remote sensing, communications, etc. And they are also being considered for flights outside of the Earth orbit, particularly to locations like Mars, Jupiter, etc. They don't weigh that much, obviously, that is why they are called as miniature satellites, which means a rocket does not need a lot of fuel to lift them. And in most cases, they also share a rocket with a larger satellite. So cute they are. Therefore, they will reduce the launch cost drastically but they cannot carry large payloads obviously because they are miniature. They are more sensitive to radiation, and they will last only for a few months or maximum for a few years, and finally they will fall back into the Earth's atmosphere. So NASA's CubeSat launch initiative, it will provide opportunities for small satellite payloads which are built by universities, high schools, non-for-profit organizations to fly on upcoming launches. Now let us talk about the RFID technology. So RFID, that is radio frequency identification. Basically, it is a technology that uses electromagnetic spectrum to uniquely identify an object, animal or person. Now RFID device serves the same purpose as a barcode or a magnetic strip on the back of a credit card or ATM card. Therefore, RFID is coming as an alternative to the barcode. Now, unlike a barcode, the tag need not be within the line of sight of the reader, so it may be embedded in the tracked object. So this is very, very important. Okay, you don't need to be in the line of sight. It can be detected even if it, let's say, it is covered. It is used in many industries. For example, it is attached to an automobile during production, so it can be used to track its progress. Pharmaceuticals can be tracked through warehouses, and implanting RFID microchips in livestock and pets allows for positive identification of animals, and its popularity is increased over the years, and it is still used less frequently than barcodes because of the former's high cost. Then you have the Malpelo Plate. So it is named for an island and underwater ridge it contains. It was discovered off the west coast of Ecuador. It is the 57th plate to be discovered and first in nearly a decade. Now there are a lot of Ecuador is a country which is in South America, and it is very close to the Pacific. So it is wedged in between the Nazca, Cocos and Caribbean minor plates, and it is linked to a nearby oceanic ridge along the Ring of Fire where you have a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes. And the Pacific lithospheric plate that roughly defines the volcanic Ring of Fire is one of the 10 major rigid tectonic plates that float and move over the Earth's mantle, and it technically behaves like a fluid over the geologic time, and it just moves just like a ball float on the water, and interaction leads to most of the earthquakes which are experienced on the planet. And there are many small plates that fill the gaps between the big ones, and Pacific plates meets two of those smaller plates, the Cocos, Nazca, west of the Galapagos Island where Charles Darwin did his work. Then you have nosocomial infections. So these are infection which are contracted in a hospital. Let's say a patient is admitted to hospital because doctors carry a lot of germs, so they can infect the patient. These are also called as healthcare-associated infection, HAIs, and such an infection can be acquired in hospital, nursing home, rehabilitation facility, OPD, and other clinical settings. So bacteria, fungus, viruses can cause these infections. Bacteria alone can cause about 90% of these cases, and if people are having immune systems compromised, they are more likely to contract an infection. So like screen the ICU to see people with nosocomial infections if they need to be isolated. Like doctors, we usually observe hand hygiene and we use washing of the hand. We wear appropriate gear including gloves, gowns and face protection, and cleaning surfaces properly with recommended frequency. So thank you for watching this lesson.